What's going on YouTube? This is BMCool247 and here are my character decks from Duelist Kingdom to Battle City. I've been creating these decks because I really liked the idea of playing with the cards that the characters played in the series. And this was these 2 years, these two series were my favorite because you could go from decks like the Paradox Brothers with the Gate Guardians, which was like probably my favorite episode, to the Merrick in Battle City on top of the blimp there. Um, then you also have duelists like Mako Tsunami, who dueled in both, I believe. He dueled Yugi first and then Joey later. And then cards like the Pumpkin King bonds with the zombies. I wanted to put in zombies there, so I had to add a little bit more zombie support. Had to modify these decks a little bit to make them more playable. And unless I followed the Duelist Kingdom rules, which was no tribute and can't attack directly, which I'm not. These are not meant for that because I didn't think there were enough cards to support that for each deck. Instead, what I did was I gave them the ability to draw two and summon two, and for the decks that were lacking, even with that, I gave them some more meta cards, some more support cards that made them a little bit stronger to make them all relatively evenly matched, if you will, if you know that card. Um, so so right now you can see they're all in rubber bands, so it's not the best looking display, but it's practical to me honestly, and I bought just a $4 bag of rubber bands. This is sitting in a 14 by 11 portfolio box, so like a portfolio you'd use for work, or I think like an arts and crafts thing. So it's Wonder Max portfolio, as you can see there. And this is just the box for it. It was a nice enough box that I thought, and it fit it perfectly. So I thought I'm gonna use this for Yu-Gi-Oh. And so if you have a 14 by 11 box laying around, I highly recommend putting your Yu-Gi-Oh cards in that because you could fit 15 decks in here. Um, and I've recently cut out this cardboard that's a little bit less than 14 by 11, so I can place on top. So then I could put once I make my GX character decks, spoiler alert, I could put that on top, or I could put that on bottom and leave these guys on top. So then I can get some other character decks from later series in here as well. So let's go do a quick run through all the decks and what characters play what. You probably can guess, but we'll do a quick run through, and I'll be doing deck profiles later throughout the year. If you're interested in building your own deck, and yeah, they're just super fun to play with. I've play tested it with myself, and it's been really fun. So starting at the top left here, Gate Guardian. I'm not gonna take it out. That's what the deck profile will be for. Gate Guardian's purpose is to get out the three levels, or the three level sevens. Not to get Gate Guardian out. I think that's still the worst idea to get that guy out. But getting the level 7 beaters out, cards like Tribute Burial, I think will help get them out even easier, where you just banish cards from the graveyard instead, and you just beat over your opponent with that. And then there's cards like Labyrinth Wall for defense as well. So very fun deck to play. Harpy Lady Sisters, of course, you're gonna spam Harpies with Elegant Egotist and Cyber Shield to power them up. And then there's some Harpy Lady Sisters support card to power them up even more with that It was like that triangle thing that they use is in there. Relinquish. There's Toon, Pegasus's deck, of course. This is Paradox Brothers. Pegasus had Tunes and Relinquish, so that's exactly what that's for. And then there's a Thousand Eyes Idol to get out Thousand Eyes Restrict, or Tear, as we call them in the GOAT format. Insect Queen, Weevil, of course. I actually took out the Perfectly Ultimate Grade Moth for the same reason I took it out, Gate Guardian out of that. But this one was more doable, but still not practical. So I made it more of an Insect Queen and Insect Princess deck because those are super generic, and they're easier to work with. They're easier to manage and to build a deck around, and it's super fun to play with those as well. Bonds' deck, Pumpkin King, he uses like Clown Zombie, Pumpkin King, and like crawling dragon, which wasn't even a zombie. So I threw one in there just because, but I also threw in Castle of Dark Illusions, even though that was a Panic's deck, which we'll get to in a second. Even though that was Panic's deck card, I put that in there because it works with Pumpkin King. And yeah, a lot of zombie support in there, which is really fun to play with. Um, this one's Bakura. A lot of fiends. He had a lot of ghosts and spirits looking guy, but they're all fiends. They're all spirit looking, but they're fiends, including Dark Necrofear. He even had Maneater Bug and Needleworm to mill their deck. So he's kind of like a mill style deck, which is trying to draw your opponent out. As and you can attack with him as well. Dark Magician, Yugi, of course, Yami, the man himself, the king of games. Um, so many cards I could have thrown into here. So there's a lot of one of each, a lot of vanilla monsters, like Feral Imp and Beaver Warrior too. But he also has powerful cards like Summon Skull. And then I have you can go for the Blackluster Soldier Ritual. Have two of each of those in there as well. So that's the go to the win condition. And he has some powerful traps like Mirror Force and Magic Cylinder in here. Kaiba, got to throw in three Blue Eyes, of course. And then Fluta Summoning Dragon with Lord D, classic. And then if you're drawing two, summoning two, you have a higher chance of getting to those combo pieces. And I threw in other dragons as well to make that pop off even more, like Luster Dragon and Kaiser Glider. So as you can tell, they're all from different parts of when they use the cards, not only from Duelist Kingdom or Battle City. It's a mixture of both. Panic at the disco. Panic. He Castle of Dark Illusions. He has this king guy, yellow mustard shield or whatever it's called, yellow shield, where it's an infinite spell that gives your monsters 300 or 200 defense extra. And then what else is in here? Oh, it's a lot of fiend. It's a lot of fiend support. Let me just take a quick glance. Yeah, it's a lot of fiends and anything fiend and dark. I also threw in the card Solidarity because in the anime in the show, he he his shield gave them all bonus points. So to replicate that, I gave him Solidarity to give them all. If they only have fiends in there, which he does, they'll give them all 800 attack, which is crazy. It's more of a meta card than back then, of course. Joey, super fun to build that deck. He has a lot of nice, looking, cool style cards like Rocket Warrior. He has Kunai with Chain, of course. He has Grave Robber, like things like that, which is just nobody else really runs. He has that kind of swag to him, if you will. Uh, twin-headed King Rex. So Rex Raptor? What's his name? Anyways, the dinosaur guy, he has a lot of dinosaurs. A lot of beaters. There, I made him a very beater deck, and just whatever support spells and trap support cards that go with that. They're kind of random. Some of the trap cards that go with it, but a Black Tyranno, the big 2600 guy that attacks directly if you're there in defense is in here. So you can definitely get to some of those boss dinosaur monsters that because those are the cool ones. Mako Tsunami. I'm not done with this one yet. But I'm throwing in the legendary fisherman. I'm thinking about making it a water deck, of course, but like the legendary ocean that lowers it to level 5 to level 4, lowers everyone by 1 in their hands. So that would be nice to combo off inside of that deck. Still in progress. And then his Caillou Shumi, or the water guy who's 5 stars as well. That beast has some support cards, so I'm waiting for those to come in through the mail. Lava Golem, Merrick, Winged Dragon of Ra is in here. I didn't throw in Slifer or Obelisk here, but Winged Dragon of Ra is in here because he used that like most of the time. That was his go-to card. And then he's also like a burn deck with the Lava Golem. So this is the mill deck. This is the burn deck. Barrel Dragon. So there's a lot of just beefy machine support because they have really good stats. for some reason machines do. So a lot of that in the Bandit Keith deck there. And then we have, if you can guess, with the Jinzo cover, it's not Esperosa, but it's actually, if you can tell from this card too, or maybe oh, there we go, Nightmare Penguin. This is Big Five, so I don't think they're in Battle City. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember them, Joey and Yugi, battling them 2-on-1, 4,000 life points, 4,000 versus 8. And it was a cool episode. So I made a deck around them. They have like a lot of random cards in there, and then they can get the 5-headed dragon, which is potentially, you can potentially pull that off in here with, I think it was super polymerization that I have in here or something like that. So yeah, those are all of the cards or all the decks, and I plan to do deck profiles for each of these, and then I also plan to create GX versions. So I can't wait for crawlers like Ancient Gears, Jaden's Elemental Heroes, the Australian Koala deck will be fun to make. The Roids, I already have the Roid card, so that should be fun to make. And yeah, I also plan to probably 3D print them or put them into these 3D printed boxes. So if you saw my GOAT deck profile or my GOAT deck collection, I have these 3D printed boxes that I have these like snap fit lids for $6 each on the Etsy channel. I'll put the link to that in the description, so you can print some, or so you can get some yourself, and then if it'll just fit something like that in the box. All right, thank you for watching. Leave a comment of what you think or what is your favorite character deck here that I showed today, and what character decks you're looking forward to, maybe in GX, or maybe something that I haven't showed here, like Arcana or Esperosa or someone like that. I don't know. Thank you.